So keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line, and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and focus your mind to this bell sound, please. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, relax your breathing with your thoughts. Do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, as human being, you always have to remember the most important part in your life is your mind. So even though you are busy with all other activities, you have to keep your attention awareness toward the mental condition. Because whatever that come out of your bodily, verbally, mentally action, it come out as a result of the condition of your mind. So if you don't maintain it properly, even though you have good intention to give a better service to the world, or even if you have a good intention to share your life with others as a family member, still unknowingly, invisibly, the deeper condition of your mind to hold all the result. So then, if you keep your awareness and maintain it in properly, knowingly how your mind behave, so whatever that your bodily, verbally, mentally action, it's going to be more and more profitable for you and for others. So practicing meditation is important because in day-to-day life, sometimes we always have to maintain our inner mind or the inner skills, thoughts regarding this all outside situations. And sometimes we forget, we lose our inner balance. So then little by little, if you find this stillness in you, it's going to become a great benefit for you and for others. Because if you lose your balance, if you lose your awareness, remember, you are in danger, and around you, all other people, you put in greater risk. So that's why it is, in another way, it is your responsibility to be aware. And you gain the benefit out of it in a long term, and it will help you to develop your all spiritual skills and qualified you to have the transformation or your liberation. So when it comes to meditation techniques, there are different techniques people practice nowadays, and with different kind of purposes. But for ourselves, we mainly keep this meditation technique related to samatha and vipassana. So the samatha means tranquility meditation. Tranquility meditation means you calm down your mind, you bring your mind to the present moment. So that is the main purpose in practicing tranquility meditation. So what happened when you are in the present moment? When you are in the present moment, your mind detached from greed, hatred, and the delusion. How it happened? Because whatever the greed or the hatred or the ignorance or the delusion happen, it need some help from your past or the future. Otherwise, it cannot happen. So then in tranquility meditation, when you are in the present moment, naturally your mind get out of the greed, hatred, and the delusion. Once the mind get out of the greed, hatred, and the delusion, little by little, if you develop that, and if you strengthen that present moment, what will happen? Naturally, it get out of the desires. Because the mind always happen with the desires, with the self-centered ideas to look the satisfaction through your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind. It always pondering to outside world. It waiting to anchoring to outside object. So that's the very nature. But when you are in the present moment, what happens? Mind naturally release from that, detach from that desire. So, and then when you get out of the desire, naturally you release the resisting nature or the anger, because anger always arises when you hold it to desires. When you hold it to strong purpose, or when you hold it to self-centered idea, as a result of that, anger arises. So anger is a byproduct of your desire. So sometimes we try to get out of the anger, but we don't want to let go our desires. So it's not going to happen. So another thing is the lethargic mind. When you have the strong desires, you get tired deeply. And that is where your sleepiness, tiredness, worry, disappointment, this all arise. So once you get out of the desires, and it will help to get out of the anger or the resisting nature, and also it will help to get out of the lethargic nature in our body, sleepiness, tiredness, so like that. And not only that, it will help to get out of the comparison. Always with the self-centered idea, we look around and we compare ourselves to other situations or other things or other people. And also, once you get out of that, the doubt also going to go away. So the main epicenter of this all five hindrance, the four hindrance, the main thing is the desire. That is the first one. All the fourth come following the desire. So in the present moment, if you able to keep your mind in the present moment, knowingly, it is not if you just allow it to happen, no. You have to take a conscious decision and stay there consciously. So for that, we give a primary mental object. Once you select the primary mental object, There are 40 meditation technique, 40 meditation object when it comes to tranquility meditations. So out of that, Anapanasati, observing inhalation, exhalation is the main primary mental object we're going to practice. So we keep focus our mind in front of our nose and upper lip area and allow your inhalation, exhalation to happen naturally itself. You don't think I inhale or I exhale. So why you don't think like that way? Because there is no I to do that. So if I inhale, then I should hold it and I should keep it the way I want. But you cannot do that way. There is a natural process. So if you observe that, you recognize the following that the natural process itself, the result of natural process itself produce the idea of self. So if you deeply observe that observation also come as a result of the inhalation exhalation. Because when the inhalation exhalation disappear, what will happen? You cannot be here like this way. Your entire system collapse. So it is not something happen because of one reason. There are many reasons. So, but in the beginning, just to practice and to enter to the process, get settled down with the one object and observe. Our main purpose is not observing and go towards the inhalation exhalation. We get the help out of the inhalation exhalation to tranquilize our mind. So this is two different things. Listen this very carefully and understand. Our purpose is not observing inhalation, kind of like I practice meditation. I am observing inhalation. What the point you observing inhalation, exhalation? What you going to get? By the time you will die, till you die, inhalation, exhalation will happen. It is a natural process. So if you just observe inhalation, exhalation, you're not going to get anything. But when you have the purpose to settle down your mind and you get the help out of the inhalation, exhalation. Why you get the help out of the inhalation, exhalation? Because it is something that always happening in the present moment. Your inhalation, exhalation not going to happen in related to past or the future. So that's why you get into that. Another thing is, it is very available to you. And it is very trustworthy to you. You have no doubt regarding it. Some, as example, just imagine you get some object from outside. And maybe it's not going to be available for you all the time. Just as example, you light a candle. You cannot keep that candle 24/7 with you, in front of you, to focus your mind. And there are places maybe you cannot light a candle. But look, inhalation, exhalation, wherever you are, it is available. So then you get the best primary mental object. And then your main purpose, settle down your mind with that. And once the mind settle down, it's like you get the help out of a boat to cross the river. So once you cross the river, you have to get out of the boat. Your purpose should not be holding the boat and stay with it. No, you just get the help and then move away. So like that, once the mind settle down, once the mind tranquilize, as a result of that, your mind will get out of 5 hindrance. Once you get out of the 5 hindrance, then you have to know how to leave the inhalation, exhalation and go to the vipassana level. So in the Vipassana level, there are few meditation techniques. So as you know, that 4 mental objects, mainly we practice 4 foundations. Kayanupassana, contemplating the body. Vedananupassana, contemplating the pain, sensation. Chittanupassana, contemplating the mind. Dhammanupassana, contemplating the phenomena or the dharmata or the very natural behavior, natural process. And today, we're going to observe the 4 elements. What are those 4 elements? Heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayu. So in the beginning, in front of your nose, you bring your attention to in front of your nose and observe inhalation, exhalation. So don't think I inhale or I exhale, just allow it to happen, get the help and settle down your mind there. Once the mind settles down, and observe deeply and see, sometimes when the inhalation or exhalation happens, you may feel kind of like the heaviness. Some inhalation becomes strong, heavy. So, and sometimes some inhalations can be very soft, or exhalation can be very soft. Or sometimes when you deeply observe, you feel that very watery nature that carry in that inhalation or exhalation. Or maybe you can feel it very cold. Or sometimes it's very hot. Not that much, sometimes you feel little warm with the inhalation, exhalation. So this is the nature that each and every inhalation, exhalation have all the 4 elements: heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. But when it connects to the sensation, what happens? One of the elements becomes stronger. That's how always these 4 elements stay together. But that out of that 4, one element becomes stronger sometimes. So that, and according to that, that the strongest elements, we recognize it. Sometimes if it is become stronger with the heaviness, and then we recognize it as hard. If it is strong with the heat, then we recognize it as a heat. And sometimes that there is no hardness, there is no heat that much, you feel the flow. Then you recognize the motion. And sometimes it feels very cold or very watery inside your nostril or in front of your nostril, that area. So then you recognize liquidity. So like that, whatever the elements become stronger, according to that, you recognize that elements using the inhalation. So then the inhalation or exhalation become kind of like a telescope, like a window. Through the window, your attention should be, your intention should be to see the element. So then there is something happen, because your mind use these 4 abilities to recognize the world: heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. So as example, when you see these 2 things, that naturally your mind can recognize which is hard, which is soft. See, even you are far away, even you see this through a picture or the video, your mind recognizes that, because your mind has ability to transfer whatever the forms, whatever the objects, that whatever the perception come to you, it has ability to convert it to heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. It is a mental ability. So when you observe the inhalation, exhalation in a certain level, your mind deeply start to get connected to this nature. Because the nature always have this heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. So now you use inhalation, exhalation to enter to it. And then in a certain level, don't focus this is inhalation or this is exhalation. Whatever inhalation or exhalation happens, just try to recognize what element is stronger, what elements is become play the role at the moment. Is the heat or the motion or liquidity or hardness? Just recognize it. When you recognize in that very moment, it happened after you recognize. When you recognize it in that very moment, you can see that element change. If you don't recognize it, you don't see that change. You see, oh, it is hard, heavy. That's it. You stop there. But if you very clearly recognize the heaviness or the hardness, you can see it is moving. So this is not, you not should project it or visualize by mentally, but you have to use the mind to recognize it. So let's get into practice a little bit. Your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. So bring your attention to your body and scan head to toes 3 times yourself and say so patveva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment, with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment. This is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime. And detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation, exhalation, and then later observe the heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. 4 elements. Out of the sensation arise, followed by the inhalation, exhalation. So in the beginning, deeply and gently breathe in, breathe out 3 times, please. So bring attention to the sensation and allow your inhalation, exhalations happen itself naturally. And settle down with the sensation. Keep focus your mind to inhalation, exhalation. If your mind go here and there, bring it back again and again. Just keep focus only one sensation, or look for the details related to heat or motion or liquidity and hardness. Very clearly, separately, try to recognize it. Whatever appear first, recognize that nature. Bring attention to your body. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. also as far as you can through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one, out of anger or ill will, wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light to your backside, to your left side, to your right side, downward and upward. To all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, as you experience this life nowadays, we mostly depend on informations and always will look for others' validations and others' opinions. And sometimes we think it is very matter for us. But if you look very carefully, as many philosophers told, we all are kind of like actors and actresses, and we all trying to play our role, and we all try to play our acting, thinking that other people looking at us. But just think, if everybody trying to become actors or actresses, who is the audience? Because everybody busy and acting themselves for try to do their part. And same thing when it comes to the social medias and even the society, even when it comes to family, when mostly people have self-centered mind, they more thinking about themselves. I am, I am, I am. And they develop idea, these self-important ideas. And they always look for self-validation. And they always look for others' opinion and depend on their opinions. But when it comes to the world, this all the Facebook or the YouTube and kind of that. And sometimes people don't watch that much what we try to say. And some because everybody try to say something. There are very few listeners. And sometimes if you always look for views and try to count the views, and some look at these TikTok videos or some songs, maybe get over 1 million hit or the views within 1 hour. But that doesn't mean it give kind of like a nourishment to their deeper behavior, or it never going to help for their life. And sometimes people watch things with kind of like they have no idea what it is. And sometimes people listening to things without any idea. Even at home, sometimes when you have a conversation with your husband, wife, or with your children, or with your parents, brothers, sisters, when you come to a kind of like, if you have idea that with the mostly you related with the self-centered, or the if you hold that this self-important idea, maybe you have a conversation that other people sometimes say yes or no without any idea about you or what it is. They maybe just keep listening, or maybe their mind is somewhere else, but they want to just keep the conversation, or maybe they just say yes or no. So then you have to remember that out of this all, your awareness is the most important part. You have to bring more attention to your awareness and keep clear that awareness. You have on that you can depend on only one thing, that is your awareness. That is the only help that you can have in this world. That's why it is not about the faith or towards something that, or the Dhamma or the Buddha or the community of the Sangha. Just having faith that way, it doesn't help. But if you able to understand what the Buddha said, what the Dhamma saying, what the community of the Sangha trying to help that is that helping yourself to gain your own awareness to yourself without depending on emotionally, or without depending on others' opinions, or without depending on situations, without depending on other approvals, validation. Can you handle yourself even just one moment? So that is what, because when it comes to the world, loneliness, anxiety, depression, fear, this all becoming more and more and more stronger. And people look for a life without having anxiety, without having fear, without having depression, without having loneliness. Don't look for that. You will never find it. You cannot find it. Why? Because the very life itself happening out of that. You are inbuilt with the fear, you are inbuilt with the loneliness, you are inbuilt with the depression, anxiety. Then what you can do? Find a way to transform it to something good. Then your anxiety, your depression, your loneliness, your fear become the bliss. It become a great opportunity for you. So that is the best way to handle with this, rather than looking for a life, no anxiety, no depression, no loneliness, no fear. Transform it to something. Develop some profitable skills out of it. And then you will see, it's kind of like giving opportunity for you to develop yourself. So developing awareness is kind of like that. When you have the loneliness, that is a great opportunity for you. So then you use it, rather than caught up with the emotional idea of the loneliness, you use that opportunity yourself to transform it to something. And the fear going to be forever in this sansaric journey. There is no place in this universe you cannot find the fear. So then understand it. Then get out of the laziness. And again, bring the effort to yourself. Let the fear to push you forward, rather than collapse that on the fear. So that way, you will see more and more and more your practice going to become more sharp and clear. Anxiety and depression, these are very necessary in our nerve system. So then transform it to calmness. Transform it to your tranquility state. It is energy. So it is a skill that you can transform it to good energy. So when a person doesn't have anxiety and depression, all the laziness, all the lust, and all the other unnecessary things can happen there. So then the laziness, the anxiety and depression, it's kind of like a muddy, fatty field for a farmer. It is a bliss. Why? Because that is where he can grow things. If it is hard, tough, he need to work so heavily to make it muddy ground. So then remember, don't try to escape from situations and look for opportunity out of that situation. Use it. Keep it as a skill yourself. Once it become a skill deeper in you, it become a profitable skill. So then wherever you go, whatever the situation, and you can get the best out of it. So there is a story that the character that this author, his name is John Kennedy Toole. He born in December 17th, 1937. and he died March 26, 1969 in Louisiana. He born in Louisiana. And one time he wrote a novel called A Confederacy of Dunkers. A Confederacy of Dunkers. So this novel, he wrote it and then he went to many places holding it in his hand to publish it. A lot of people look at that and told, this is useless, worthless, cannot understand, this is not going to read anybody. So like that, and they criticize it. They throw it. And some people even blame to him in a very bad way. So what happened? He came home and he used to believe that himself, he's a kind of like a good author. Himself, he put too much value on him. And then what happened? That pride himself start to sabotage himself deeper inside his heart. And when he returned, after seeing that the few people to publish this book, whatever they told, and it hurt him. And he came home, he suicide. He died 1969 because he got hurt. It attacked to his self-centered idea and he couldn't handle it. He died. And then after a few years, his mother started to clean the house. Then she found that original copy of The Confederacy of Dunkers, this book. Then she took it to one of her friends. He took the book and told, let's publish this. And then they published that book. And it became, and they recognized that book as one of the greatest literature in southern United States. Now it became a kind of like that world recognition book. So how it happened? Why the John Kennedy tools that himself he couldn't get this while he living? Why he missed that opportunity? Look, he was so successful. Even that novel is it's a comedy novel, and many producers, the movie producers, try to create a movie out of that, but no one able to do it because it is that much rich with information and it is that much rich with the comedies, and no one could bring it a character out of the information there. It was so rich with the literature. But look what happened. The author himself, he suicide. So this is a very important information for all of us. And sometimes you are so valuable and there are things come out of you. It is so important, so valuable. It is a gift for the entire world. But the thing is this, the point. When you put too much value on you, when you hold it to too much egocentric idea, you are the one who not going to see the value of your own gift. So that is why then today it is very important when we live with the world, and sometimes we try to depend on others' opinion. And sometimes we just looking for others like, dislike. And sometimes we waiting for how other people going to comment or what other people going to say about us. But remember, when everyone have that kind of opinion or the idea regarding themselves, what will happen to you? So then it is very important in your life, whatever you do, rather than that hold it to self-centered idea and rather than creating a self-centered story yourself as a husband, as a wife, as children, as parents, or as brothers, sisters, or as neighbors. Remember, the very basic life, this very conventional life, don't try to build up your own story inside your head. It is so dangerous. Why? Because that story can sabotage you. So then how you can get out of it? It happened even in the ancient time. People, a lot of people, they came with the gift, but they were unhappy themselves, mostly inside. Why? Because when they hold it to so much pride or egocentric idea, and when they put so much value on themselves, and sometimes they become unhappy. And it happened all the time. Especially, actors or the actors, or even the singers in this music, this music industry. And it's even in the spiritual industry, the life. When you become a high priest, or when you have students around you, when other people start to respect you, sometimes you think, oh, you earn the respect, oh, other people should respect you. Then you kill yourself. You die every day. How about when another person come and don't respect you in front of others? What will happen to you? Your own, the idea about you start to kill you. So in day-to-day life, as a husband or wife, remember, don't build up. Oh, I am the husband. Oh, I am the wife. I have to do this. Other people should respect me as I am the husband or wife. Then you lose yourself. It will disturb deeper in you. Even as children or parents, remember, you do whatever your responsibility for your children. Don't think that, don't even expect my children should come and they should respect me as, oh, this is my mother or father, like that way. Because when they become young, who knows what kind of ideas they're going to have about their own life. And there are a lot of parents nowadays come to me, and sometimes, they call me and they always tell about this, how these children react to them. Because when you develop too much expectations regarding others, other people should do this way, that way. And sometimes when they don't do that way, what will happen? Your own expectation start to disturb you. So don't develop that kind of unnecessary difficulties in you. So in society or whatever, that everywhere, whatever you have to do. So this is very important in day-to-day life then. If we look at the world history, that you can see many characters, it happened to most of them. They became unhappy. The architect who built up the main design, Australia, Sydney Opera Theatre, he became unhappy later. Why? Because some people came and told they need to change the master plan. The person who designed the Hoover Dam, the designer became unhappy. Why? Because other engineers came and told, and it should change. In France, Paris, Eiffel Tower, the designer, the governor who built up that, the all other people came and told during this time, Why you spending so much money? And like that, people came against him, and later he became unhappy about his own creation. So like that, when you think, there are many, that most of the things, it can happen. It's that, so whatever the lifestyle you go through, they it is a important part. Without building the ego, how you can maintain your own life? Because out of your own bodily, verbally, mentally action, it can create. It happen deeply, silently. It happen. Invisibly it happen. You don't see, but later you get hurt. That is the important part. Then if you get hurt like that way, what's the point? You have children, you spend so much time, your whole life, out of your own husband or wife, if you get hurt, what's the point? Having that life. If you have children and you do everything for them out of their behavior, if you get hurt, what will happen? What's the point? Because the end result is not successful. So that's why even you work in a place, out of 10 years, 20 years you work, end of your retirement, if you get hurt, what's the point? So even then, just minimize it to a day. You have a day. You have this beautiful life as a human being. It is a very rare life that you have. And look at this world, out of this all the difficulties, still you able to maintain your life. So then end of the day, if you become unhappy, what is the point? If you cannot find the deeper happiness or satisfaction, where we go? What will happen tomorrow? Because in today, in this very life, what will happen tomorrow? So then remember, that's why, because one of our student today evening came, and maybe he's here joining with us, and he became miserable about his own life. Nothing wrong, just he keep working and himself, and he start to feel lazy. After this whole pandemic and everything, and you have your job and still you're breathing, and out of this whole, if you feel lazy, miserable, what the point? Look at how many people died. Thousand people died, and a lot of people went through hard time, lose the job and nothing. Even they couldn't find even, place to sleep, and they couldn't find anything to eat sometimes. And sometimes people have the job and they have the family, they have their house and everything. But end of the day, they feel miserable. They feel kind of like a lazy. Nothing work for them. Why? It is a question you have to ask, why you feel that way. That's why I'm going to give the answer for this. Why this all the people, even that's why I bring this John Kennedy, this novel story. Why he suicide, even though he became, huge part of the American literature. It became a masterpiece in this American literature. And all over the world, there are a lot of people. And even though they have the gift, they didn't see it, and end of their life, they feel miserable. So yourself, then look, as a husband, wife, children, ask yourself, whatever the position you hold, and end of the day, that wherever you're sitting now, when you listen to this, what you feel about you. Are you waiting any validation or any comments or any opinions from others to be happy yourself? Or is there anything did you find inside you to be comfortable yourself, feel kind of like fulfillment inside you? You had the life so far and you have done your best so far. So this is the changing point. When you do something, rather than becoming self-centered and thinking about self-validation, oh, me, it doesn't matter even for a 1 minute work, or even you go to a big, huge master plan. Remember, think about how other people can get the service out of it, how other people can get the benefit out of it. If you cook yourself, rather than thinking about that, oh, this is me, I do this way, no, think about the all your other family members, cure the hunger. And maybe they work so hard and maybe they don't know how to cook, so you are the one who can cook. So you sharing your skill to others. Even cleaning, maybe other people don't know about it, so yourself you clean because it giving others an opportunity. So then remember yourself, whatever you do, don't try to develop a self-centered, egocentric idea or the character or the story. It doesn't work end of the day. And do things how other people can get a benefit out of your work. Then itself, that moment you will see, it transforms you. It doesn't matter you become successful or you fail. And at the end of the work, and you gain something out of that work, that nourishment that you gain, that confidence that you gain, the peace that you earn out of that work, it always going to become blessing for you. And not only you, other people also will get the best out of you. So your own action never going to kill you. Your own action never going to disturb you. Your own action never going to sabotage you. So this is very important every day. Remember, whatever you do, even you raise children, think about them. They have no idea what to eat, how to eat, where to go, what to learn, like that. You do because they're going to have in the future, they're going to have a good life for them. Not they're going to become better and then they come and will take care of you. No. Then you do it with the self. No, you make them wherever they go, may they have a good life. So then end of the day, you feel relaxed. So as a husband, wife, do whatever that you can do, whatever you do your best. Thinking other way, may that person be happy, whatever that other person want to be happy. Just be happy. You provide necessary environment. Because if somebody find the happiness out of your work, remember itself, it's going to become a greater blessing for you. So then it is become a gift that you giving to others. Also, maybe in the moment that other people are not going to recognize that, it is okay. But look, after many years, this John Kennedy, his book, his mother found out this book and went and printed. And then it became a great icon for the American literature. So maybe what you do today, other people are not going to recognize it. So don't worry about it. Maybe what you do today, your husband, your wife, your children, your parents not going to appreciate. Your brothers, sisters not going to appreciate it. But it is okay. Don't depend on their opinions. Why? Maybe in their head there's something else. Even they say, oh, that is good. Maybe it is just a word. No intention there. But yourself, do it with the very clear mind, with the good heart to give a service to others. Every day, with everything, whatever you do, look how other people can get a benefit out of your work. Look everywhere, then you will see You have a lot of opportunities. Then you will see you have a gift that no one in this world have that. You are kind of like a masterpiece in this universe. So then that make you more and more strong to give more service to others. So that way you slowly, deeply, strongly get out of this self-centered idea. And at the same time, you nourish with your own bodily, verbally, and mentally action. And that will help you to have the clear awareness. Because egocentric idea, egocentric mind, block everything, make you blind. And that's why, end of the day, maybe you don't recognize who you are. That's why sometimes you get disturbed out of your own thought. And then you kill yourself. So, but if you start to do the service to others, thinking, may other people get the benefit out of it. Even planting a tree. If you make a plant a flower tree in front of your garden, if other people, may any bees come and take some honey out of this. Think like that. If other people see this beauty, why only you want to enjoy this? Oh, I want to see this. No, may other people see this. May other birds, may how many, these living beings around this world, depending on nature. So you do it as a part of it. Even when you throw some water out of your hand, so how many living beings in this ground? So may they get that some kind of comfort out of this. So think like that way. So then you feel that each and every action you have so much strength and energy, and you can contribute so much things to this universe. So there is a gap that we don't fill with that idea. We do things, we work so hard, we do things, we busy so much, but thinking to create our own story. I, self-centered. Oh, me, I did this. Oh, they will recognize I did this, I did this. But end of the day, even you become the king of the country, end of the day, you're not going to be happy. But if you start to transform your action, see, the same action, but it is you have to very carefully use this. Never allow any action to nourish your self-centered, egocentric mind or the self-centered story. Remember that. Whatever you do, never allow. And always look how other people, how other living beings, how the world can get some benefit out of it. Every day, if you look that way, your journey going to become more successful, your journey going to become more and more and more clear. And then rather than the intention, the purpose, the way you do it, the way you handle it, going to become more beautiful, more beautiful. So tune to that level and go with that flow. Then you will see every day, whatever the fear, loneliness, anxiety, depression, or whatever come to you, it come as a gift. And you have ability to transform it to something good. So then you are the one who get the benefit out of it, and you are the one who can transform it to something good. And out of you, other people also get the benefit. And day by day, when you are going this process, what will happen? You cultivate your inner profitable skills. So that is your behavior itself become a kind of like a meditation. When the right day come for you, when you complete that necessary skills yourself, when you complete that necessary qualification yourself, remember, your liberation or your transformation or your salvation or your kevalya or even your ultimate bliss of nibbana going to be in front of you. So with that, I bless upon everyone with this good practice. May all of you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you. May no difficulties come to you. May no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding, and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. During this time period, may everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbityo vajjantu sabbarogo vinazzatu mate bhavatvantarayo sukhi diga yuko bhava. Ittavata cha me sampadang punya sampadang sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe bhuta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe satta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Idam me punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamunchatu. Bless you.